Some toys are just innocent fun, but some shape our fears. In 1988, there was a doll that entered the world of cinema and shattered the whole concept of innocence. He was not just a toy, he was a killer. And his name was Chucky. But the story of Chucky is more than just a horror movie series. He is an icon who criticized consumerism, a figure who left his mark on cinema history, and the embodiment of our fears. So how did this blood-curdling doll come about? What was the secret behind it? And how did Chucky become a pop culture legend over the years? Today we will explore not only the story of Chucky, but also the creative process that brought him to the world of cinema, his sources of inspiration, and the fascinating details behind the scenes. If you are ready, let's step into the blood-curdling world of Chucky. Towards the end of the 1980s, the horror genre was at its peak in the cinema world. While iconic characters like Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees were haunting viewers' nightmares, screenwriter Don Mancini wanted to take a completely different approach to this trend. His goal was to create a character that was not only scary, but also satirical. Mancini's idea was based on the consumerism of the time and especially the boom in the toy industry. He thought that the expensive and popular toys that parents bought for their children had actually become capitalist symbols far from innocence. Chucky was the embodiment of this criticism. Popular dolls of the era, particularly the Cabbage Patch Kids and My Buddy dolls, were a major source of inspiration for Chucky's design and story. But Mancini saw frightening potential behind their innocent faces. In the 1980s, the toy industry was going through a revolution. The market was dominated by dolls, which children competed with each other to have, and parents waited in long lines. Dolls, especially My Buddy dolls, were marketed as offering children the concept of friendship. However, Mancini, who thought this trend was going too far, asked himself the questions. What if a doll was more than just a real friend? What if it carried a secret so dark that it would scare children? This criticism formed the basic philosophy of Chucky, the danger that lies behind innocence. Child's Play, released in 1988, was the film that introduced the character of Chucky to the world. The film affected not only horror lovers, but also a wide audience. So, what was the story? In the film, Charles Lee Ray, a notorious serial killer, uses voodoo magic to transfer his soul into a good guy doll when cornered by the police. The doll falls into the hands of an innocent boy, Andy Barkley. However, Chucky begins to commit murders by destroying the innocence inside the doll. Throughout the story, Chucky's goal is to regain a human body, making Andy his primary target. Charles Lee Ray's ultimate goal was to return to a human body, but this transformation was interrupted by a story that grew more complicated with each film. Child's Play, 1988. Chucky tried to transfer his soul into the body of Andy Barkley, the child who first came into contact with the doll. But murders and a terrifying chase thwarted this plan. Andy and his mother thought they had burned Chucky to death, but Chucky's story was just beginning. Child's Play 2, 1990. Chucky's charred remains were reassembled by the toy company and fixed to cover manufacturing defects. Chucky went after Andy again, but again failed. Child's Play 3, 1991. This time Andy was in a military school, but Chucky did not give up. He chose a new target and tried to enter another child's body, but Andy once again thwarted Chucky's plans. Bride of Chucky, 1998. The story took a different turn at this point. Chucky's ex-girlfriend Tiffany reassembled his dismembered body and brought Chucky back to life. However, things got messy and Tiffany's soul was trapped in a doll. The duo set out on a chaotic journey to return to their human bodies. Seed of Chucky, 2004. Chucky and Tiffany's story took on a whole new dimension this time. Their son Glenda was also a doll, and the family embarked on a crazy plan to get back their bodies. This film attracted attention with its dark humor, as well as horror elements. Curse of Chucky, 2013, and Cult of Chucky, 2017. These films brought a darker tone to the series. Chucky was no longer just Andy, but was now going after many other targets, and was able to control multiple dolls with voodoo magic. This caused him to become a more dangerous and terrifying figure. At first, Chucky was just a scary figure, but over time he became the center of dark humor. His sarcastic attitude and obsession with returning to his human form made his character deeper and more memorable. Brad Dourif's voice gave Chucky a unique personality and made him both a scary and funny character. Chucky adopted a concept that brought fear into everyday life. The transformation of an innocent-looking doll into a deadly threat reminded viewers that fear can hide in unexpected places. This idea set him apart from traditional slasher figures like Freddy and Jason. Chucky's small but deadly nature added psychological tension to the audience. Chucky, voiced by Brad Dourif, is remembered for his lines like, "Hi, I'm Chucky, wanna play?" His tone of voice and sarcastic style brought him to a unique place in horror cinema. Chucky has been one of the indispensable costumes of Halloween for years. Everyone from children to adults adopt Chucky's scary yet attractive aura with his orange hair, blue jumpsuit, and cuts on his face and bring him to life. The Tiffany character has also taken its place among popular Halloween costumes. Chucky has become a huge brand for horror enthusiasts and collectors alike. A variety of products have been released, including action figures, plush toys, t-shirts, mugs, and even custom-printed Chucky dolls. These products have proven that he is not just a movie character, but an industry figure. Chucky-themed events, horror houses, and festivals like Universal Studios' Halloween Horror Nights emphasize his importance in the world of horror. Chucky is not just the hero of a film series, but also a figure who revolutionized horror cinema. With him, toys lost their innocence, and horror became closer than ever. Chucky's character continues to live as a critique of consumer society, a combination of horror and humor, and one of the most unforgettable horror icons in cinema history. He started out as a little doll, but he became a cinema legend. He redefined what fear meant and introduced us all to the dark side of innocence. Chucky is not just a toy, he is a revolution. So, would you dare to put a Chucky doll in your room? Or would you feel like he was staring at you from a toy shelf when the lights went out tonight? Maybe. He is already there with you. If you like this video, don't forget to like it and share your thoughts about Chucky in the comments. See you in the next video, but remember, Chucky will always be watching.